It is No Gifts Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Anchondo.
And we are back. It is so nice to see you. We take about a month off during the holidays just because it's so crazy.
A month plus.
Well, and then I've got to go out to Vegas for CES, and we were supposed to record, and then my flight was late, and all that other stuff. But we're back, and I also feel like, what are we? Third week of January here. The first week's kind of a bust. Our kids didn't go back until Wednesday.
Same.
Of that
or maybe
first
was
week.
It Tuesday? It was Tuesday.
Yeah,
but still.
we got and then now here, and now it's MLK, and it's all sorts of stuff.
But we're back.
We are back.
Okay.
How was your holiday?
Exactly. I want to talk about holidays because even though it's past,
even though it's March,
I still need to hear about it. Ours was amazing. I never want to fly again. I do know that for sure. Whoever you are, come to me.
Yeah.
CES, come to Steve.
Yeah.
Grandparents, come to
Here's
us.
the deal. How Heath has a pilot's license, doesn't he?
Yes. Why are we not utilizing that?
Yes.
Well,
I think you guys need a private jet.
Thank you. Thank you. That has been on the vision board for a minute. Well, remember he had that plane when we first got married.
When you first got married.
And then it somebody borrowed it and it got in a fender bender.
Oh.
And we do not have a plane anymore.
Wow. Well, we never had a plane.
But we've talked about that so much because, and the truth is, and I'm sure many people are also have their pilot's license, had it as a hobby. You have to stay so in it.
Yes.
In order to safely do it.
Yes.
Right. In order to do it. And it was just once we had Brighton, he wasn't going to take the time away, the 2 days a week that he was going to get to spend with her.
Right, to go fly.
And that's really what's needed. So we go back and forth on that all the time. So until then, we will be flying the friendly skies with everybody else.
Honestly, the not so friendly skies. I have to say, flying, we kind of lucked out. Long story short, I flew out with the kids. We were in New York. It was wonderful. It was magical. Although day 2, I think, Hudson was not feeling himself, took him to the doctor, flew. So I was like, oh gosh, now we're radioactive. So Christmas Eve was spent at a roadside diner, which actually was lovely. Okay. I love a good Long Island diner. And it was a nice diner. Christmas Day, we had a slightly smaller crowd. Some people stayed away, which was understandable. Jacob was not feeling great. So I had him on the Tamiflu, took him in for the testing. They're like, he's got nothing. I was like, he's got something. He's got 102. He's got
run another swab.
He's good. Do you know that a week after we got back, I got a call from that doctor's office and they said, hey, I'm calling with Jacob Noviello's test results. I said, what? I said, no, we were there a week ago and everything was fine. She said, well, those rapid tests are not really so reliable. So he has strep throat. I was like,
Jacob.
What? I said, well, he feels fine. She said, well, you have to treat it. Even if he has no symptoms.
It can pop back up, I guess.
So anyway, while we were there, they had forecasted some bad weather. Our air carrier had contacted us and said, hey, you really should change your flight to the day before, which was fine because of the weather. So we changed it.
Oh, I hate that, to have to leave early.
Well, it didn't turn out that way, so don't hate it too much. Okay. We changed it the day before. Then maybe however many hours later, we got a notice, hey, your new flight's been canceled. So we're like, oh, God. So then we tried to get back on the original flight. They said, oh, sorry, we have nothing until now the day after.
The cancellations.
I'm like, what are we doing here? And honestly, it hadn't even started snowing yet.
You're stranding
them? So it was very stressful. There was a point at which Jacob didn't necessarily have a seat on the plane. And they were like, well, you can figure it out when you get to the airport. I'm on the hold for 5 hours and they call me back and I'm talking to the woman. And I said, listen, you sold me a ticket on this flight.
Right.
He needs a seat. And she said, I didn't sell you anything, sir. And I was like, no,
it's getting heated.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh my gosh. So did you get into it?
Not with her. I just asked to speak with somebody else.
I get more nervous when I'm getting into it with somebody at DFW as opposed to another city where nobody's going to know who I am.
No, it is what it is. We ended up at the airport without a seat for him. And they're like, the people at the front were like, oh, sorry, you have to go to the gate. We'll go to the gate. She's like, oh, you have to wait till we call your flight. I was like, listen to me. He's 8 years old. I can't stay. I can't leave him here. And I can't go with him and leave the other son here at LaGuardia.
Why do you have to explain that?
It's not
That's so crazy.
So it all worked out in the end, but it's there's no motivation from anybody to do anything for anybody. It's really, and that is really, it's not just airlines, it's all forms of customer service. I mean, we were at
It's
office.
so bad.
We were at an office supply store recently, and
There's only the Max and the Depot.
I want to thank the young man behind the counter and the manager and the team of people who couldn't ring up a poster board for the science fair for helping us learn a very valuable lesson about why it's important to stay in school. Because,
let me guess, did they just stand there and watch you do it?
well, the barcode, whatever it is, was a little like muddy, like the printing of it. So they were trying to type it in, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't do it. Tried to get another one. Couldn't do it, or whatever. And finally I said, what about the item number? And he said, no, it has to be the exact same one. I said, well, I went to your website and I looked it up and I have an item number. Could you use that? Types it in. Of course it goes fine. Right. So we got in the car and I said, hey kids, here's a teachable moment. Like, we had a problem and it took 3 employees to try and figure it out. And in the end, what happened? And Jacob said, well, you figured it out. And I said, yes, I did. And that's problem solving. That's
and
why,
just like there's always a solution.
It's always a solution. Yeah. That's why there's problem solving. And like, frankly, and no disrespect to anybody who stands on their feet for 8 hours a day at their local office supply store, waiting for somebody to come over and buy something because this place was dead. But I said to them, listen, that might not be a life that you want. And this is the point in your life now where you get to make that decision, because one day it won't be your decision anymore. So let's stick to it now.
Stick to it now.
Stick to it now. That's that. So anyway, we're back. I was in Vegas for CES. That was insane, but good. And then here we are.
Oh my gosh. We both had these, I had buried my airport experience until you started talking about yours, and it brought it back from the dead because I was actually mortified by my own behavior. Like, do you ever get worked up and then you're like, ugh, that wasn't my best.
Right. Now I owe you an amends.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, basically. So, and I know it's like a pet peeve of yours to have to work at the store that you're shopping at, which now we all have to do. So I showed up at the ticket counter and I have Gemma. So I'm flying with me and 2 kids. So I have Gemma, I have her diaper bag, I have all of her snacks, I have Brighton's got a roller bag. I mean, just
stuff.
We all have so much stuff, and I'm holding Gemma. And we get up there and we do like the self-service counter, and they print out your things and you're supposed to tag your own bags.
Mm-hmm.
If you know this airline, you know this airline. And the guy comes over and he's just looking at me, the guy who works there. I was like, oh, thank you. Thinking he was going to put it on. He goes, oh, I'll teach you how to do that. I was like, sir, I have only free toes at this point. Can you teach me how to do it with my toes? Because there are not free arms to tag the bags right now. And I said, oh, so you're coming over here just to teach me how to do it? I just got so pissed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, really? Like, you have 2 free arms. I've got this screaming, crying toddler, the other kid's scared. And Brighton's kind of like, she was feeling this sense of unease where it's like, what's happening here? Like, I feel like I'm not being watched right now. And my mom's getting frustrated and Gemma's trying to run away. And this guy's trying to teach her how to tag a bag. And I said, this isn't what you're coming over here to help with. He goes, no, this is your job.
Oh, no.
My response wasn't good though.
What was it? Tell me.
It just, I don't know. I blocked it out. It wasn't great. Like, if you were at DFW and you saw me, like, I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm truly embarrassed. And afterwards, that was the teachable moment with Brighton, was like, I did not deal with this well. I don't know what I should have done. I should have Googled how to tag the bags beforehand, because apparently that's my job right now. But I was pissed. I was like, this is not my job. Yeah. You're standing right here. And also, just if you're a human being with 2 hands that sees a struggling mother with 2 kids, maybe lend a hand. Yeah. Even if
you don't work there.
Yeah, even if you don't work there. I'm like, okay, so this is educating me for what? Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna tag other people's bags. Like, why do you need to teach me how to do this right now? And so he watched me sit Gemma down, who then ran away, tried to get through the security on her own. And it was just like a total mess. Then of course you go through and they do the bomb swab. And of course, like, my diaper bag had the bomb swab stuff.
You've got all sorts of liquids and organic compounds.
It did. And they said to me they were going to need to take me back and do the full search. And they said, do you have somebody here that can watch your children?
No.
I was like, what? And I actually, because then my parents were coming with us. So at that point I actually did, because then my parents were with us. But like that's an anomaly. Typically a mother or father flying with their kids, they're not going to have like somebody to watch the kids, just like in your same situation.
Correct.
So it was so ridiculous. I was like, not right now.
And maybe the bag tag guy would have watched him.
Yeah, he
Probably
was
not.
definitely reliable.
Okay.
So it was just like chaotic but fun. And then once we got there though, it was so great. And I feel like we escaped the flu because immediately prior, Brighton had a cheer competition like within days of everybody ending. Y'all.
Everybody.
2 girls, not from her team, but from other teams, actively threw up
Oh, gosh.
on the mats.
Oh.
Because cheerleading's not a sport where you can call, like you can't, I mean.
You can't phone it in.
You can't, and you kind of have to go. There's no subs.
Right.
So the routines, like the stunts going up, everybody plays a part. Everybody plays an important role. If you don't do it, like it's not safe and then the whole team's out. So girls are showing up with the flu. It was a total cesspool, and somehow we made it out without the flu.
Okay, so we've made it into 2026. I'm interested to hear, because I know you're a big vision board person.
Yes.
So what's on it? What are your resolutions? What are you doing? How are you tackling the year differently?
So normally we do it on New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
We've always done it on New Year's Day, but with both girls and being at my parents' house, we decided we would delay. And it's interesting because I'm usually the one that's kind of stuck or taking a long time. And this time it's Heath.
Oh, really?
And I'm so...
Yours is done, or
it's
you're like,
not
I know
all
what I
laid
needed
out.
to have?
I have everything sort of printed, and we still do. I mean, obviously there's ways to do these now, like ChatGPT can do it for you or whatever. I still really like the act of
Cutting,
printing
pasting,
and cutting.
yes.
Yeah. And just
It's like journaling.
Yeah, it's like journaling. Exactly. And sometimes I will write things out, or I'd kind of do it differently every year. But Heath has been stuck, which I actually like. It shows me how intentional he is with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not just mailing it in like, my wife likes to do this thing.
Yeah.
So,
well, because I think that to his credit, I think that he's putting things on there that he's legitimately thinking like, I'll accomplish this year.
Absolutely. And the good thing that I like that we do is we try to do it this year, but we know that's okay. You can do it the next year. Like you've got your life ahead of you, and it doesn't need to be angsty. So mine this year is it's so not goal oriented for the first time ever. It's a softer board.
What do you mean?
It's softer in the way that I don't want to hit a certain number of anything except for time with my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I just am missing them so much. I'm craving deeply that just more time with them. So I love my job, and I'm going to continue to do my job and do my best, but like I'm, and do what I can while I'm there. But like the 10 p.m. working on scripts or whatever time, like I just am craving being at the basketball game fully.
Yeah.
And
present.
not looking at my phone and being present. And so it was just really about that and carving out the time and just having this lifestyle where I'm able to be in a present moment when I am with them and when I'm with Heath.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we had this for so many years trying to have a baby, and now she's here, and it's like, well, you better, enjoy it and sink into it. So it's just a softer, like, I'm not trying to do anything. I just enjoy my life.
That's funny. We are kind of in the same place. One of the things that we talked about is, like I was looking at my PTO, and at some point you stop accruing because it's too much.
So much. I was about to start using your PTO.
It carries over. I mean, I looked at mine. It was like 200 plus hours of PTO that, it's weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And I was like, and because of my situation at work with not really being able to take time off, and now hopefully soon I will be able to start, I said to him, what we are going to do this year is live. We are going to live. We are going to enjoy the benefits of all of this hard work. We're going to enjoy the financial benefit. We're going to enjoy, and I know I talk about this all the time, but I really want to go to Asia. I want to go with him and the kids to Asia. Like, let's start planning that. Like, maybe it's not this year, maybe it's next year, but like, let's do it, right? Like, we this summer have an opportunity to travel, and I was like, you know what? Let's go. Like, let's go on this trip. We have our trip for spring break, but let's go on this other one. It's a little different than what we normally do, and like, let's just do it. And honestly, like, I get a little, I guess frugal, responsible, all of those things. But sometimes it's like, you know what? Just spend the money and go.
I relate to that so hardcore.
Like, let's go. Like, what are we doing?
So
because you know what? It's interesting. When I was at cafeteria duty the other day, talking to the kids, not just my kids, but the kids who come through the line. And I said, oh, how was your Christmas? And this little girl came up and I said, how was your Christmas? And she's somebody who I know. She's Jacob's best buddy's little sister. And she said, "Oh, it was so good." And I said, "Oh, what did you get?" And she was like, I don't really remember. She was, "But my family went skiing."
Yeah.
And I was like, amazing. Like, I couldn't tell you what the kids got for Christmas last year. I could barely tell you what they got for Christmas this year. But I can tell you that we went to go see the Christmas show at the music hall, and that we had dinner in a roadside diner, and I think it's less stuff, more doing, more being present, which I think all of us can kind of work on, and what that looks like in whatever, time. I agree with you, right? Like, I'm at a point where it's like, I've done the things, I've had the success, I am getting the help I want. Do I have some additional professional goals? Absolutely. But is my primary goal trying to reduce the number of times where I'm looking past my phone into my kid's face? Yes, that is my primary goal.
That's an amazing goal. I love that. And I think it's hard for somebody that's always, it feels so crazy. Like, when I said it, I was like, this is going to sound so crazy. And I was like, this isn't crazy. This is what people do. They live their lives.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, it doesn't take away from professional goals, but you can do those during work hours.
Yes.
I think it's just the melding of the two is really hard it's hard to not let the two fuse together and to let work slowly eat away at your family time until you are like, wait, did we have family time? Oh, we did, but I was on a call or sending out an email or rushing the kids to bed because I'm trying to get on another call.
Right.
As opposed to like, I'll lay in bed with you.
Yeah. We're really good about intentional time. When we eat dinner every night at 6:00, all around the table, like, that's that, right? It's family time starts at 7. It's for an hour before bed. But to your point, I used to get frustrated. We've talked about this before on the show with the kids who, it's time for bed, and now all of a sudden they're like super wound up and whatever. And I remember a therapist once telling me they're not misbehaving, they're extending time.
Yeah.
They want to spend more time with you, because at that point, once we get upstairs, it's like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Like, let's read through. I'm trying to make the pages of the book stick together, kind of thing, so that it goes faster. Which
I can still do that with Gemma, not to brag.
But it's like, what? Like, let's lay here in bed together and read this book or do, whatever. So
we just reignited our mother-daughter journal.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Have you guys heard? Or
Never.
Have you heard of this? Okay, so there's printed versions, or you can just DIY it. But we got one that was sort of a prompt, and the idea is that you get used to writing back and forth to one another, so that when tougher times come down the road and they're not wanting to communicate with you as much, you can kind of go back to this little journaling back and forth. So it starts off with silly prompts like, daughter, let's get to know you. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite part about school? What was the best part of your day? Really soft, like, fun things. And then it gets a little deeper into, like, the one that I had to answer last night was, what do you what do you think you do well as a mom? And what do you think that you could improve upon? And then you actually give it to your child and they read it. And then there's prompts for them too.
Would you write?
It's been fun. I wrote that I need to be more patient. I think that because my schedule is wound so tight and we are down to the 30-second on everything, from somebody showing up to watch Gemma, to me getting to work, to me getting off work to get Brighton, to me getting off work to get Gemma, to me getting to practices, to washed clothes for the practices, to getting dinner on the table, to getting down to bed, to get to the airway specialist that we're going to have on the next episode. Like, I am wound so tight that when it works really well, when everything works really well, and when something else happens where it's like they need a minute, it's harder for me. And I just, like, I don't have the grace, and I need to change the schedule. I need to not have the schedule be wound so tight. I don't know how to do that yet. Like, I don't know what.
Well, it's hard to
give,
and I think that the difficulty there is that you find yourself in a situation where you find yourself kind of trivializing a moment for your kid, because you're like, okay, but we have to go. Like,
yes.
I get that, like, you're, I don't know, backpack, whatever, you know, and I know that that's super important to you, but like, we have to get in the car. Like, we got to go. And I was walking to school yesterday with the kids, and There was a dad in front of me who I
Walking
know.
to school. Can we like pause for a moment and talk about how wonderful that is that you're walking to school?
Well, we park a few blocks away and then we walk.
Still,
that's
I love beautiful.
it. I love it. No, we have a whole routine. There's a hug. There's, one of them lets me walk them to class. The other one is too cool, which, yeah. But there was a dad in front of me and I know him not very well, but like well enough that like we know each other's name and hey, and how are you? And whatever, some small talk. But he's like super chill, like to the point where I'm like, are you doing bong hits when you wake up? Like super chill. And I was also noticing like, so are his kids, because I see his kids at cafeteria and I think to myself, gosh, my kids are a little high strung sometimes.
I wonder why.
And like, where does that come from? And you know what? It doesn't come from me teaching them to be high strung. It comes from me showing them that I'm high strung, right? Me saying things like, hey, we got to go. We got to go. Like, at the end of the day, have they ever once been late for school? No, they haven't. And if they ever are,
like, who cares?
Like, who cares? Like, is it the worst thing in the world?
But then it's the trickle down though. That's why it's like, it's not the worst thing, but then you're late or I don't know for you, but for me, then I'm late for work. If I'm being really
honest about it. So we walk out the door at 35. We get to school by 40. I mean, the school's right there. Yeah. It takes 5 minutes to walk, which is first bell. Second bell, I think, is 50. And then I'm at Starbucks by 8 o'clock. Like, my show's not on till 10. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and your makeup takes not as long as mine.
60 seconds, right?
Nor your hair.
The yes, do I like to be there and get started and whatever? But at the end of the day, if I got there at 8:30, I would still be early.
Yeah,
I would still be early. So like, why stress out my 7 and 8 year olds with, okay, guys, let's go, let's get the, when like what you're trying to do is share with me your life. You're trying to tell me a story. You're going to talk to me about something, which again, in the moment doesn't mean much, right? Like, is it really that important that I hear about whatever, but what I am training you to do is to know that when you have to talk to me, I stop what I'm doing and I listen.
Totally.
Because one day there is going to be something that's important. And I want to make sure that we're in the good practice of you knowing that you come first. One of the things that my parents always did, my dad especially, regardless of how busy he was at work, is when we would call his office, no matter what he was doing, he took the call. I cannot remember one time where they said, I'm sorry, he's busy.
Oh, same.
Not one time.
And isn't that great? Aren't we lucky?
Yep.
We're super lucky.
Yep. Okay, we're also super out of time.
Oh, but I have so many more questions. Okay, I guess there will be more episodes.
Yes, so we've got a new season. We're just getting started again for a new season. We've got some fun, really great guests that we're going to be having this season. We've got you kind of had alluded to our airway specialist, an orthodontist that's coming in. We've got some other kid therapists that we've developed relationships with over time. It's going to be great. It's a new season of the show. We invite you to click like, to click subscribe. And it kind of helps us with our guests and stuff. So we appreciate all of your support. We want to remind you, new episode every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. on your favorite podcast platform. And as always, if you do nothing else today, go find yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for. We'll see you next time.